So the title of this video, what is love and the want to love unconditionally? I think love is supposed to be unconditional. When you need something in return and when you want something in return in order for you to give your love, now it's become a transactional thing. I think true love is exemplified in the person of Jesus Christ, that he laid down his life for us and asks for nothing in return. And that's the difficult part of life, is that we cannot live up to that kind of love. We can't really love people like that because it's in our nature to be selfish in a way. It's in our nature to want things from people and to, have things our way. And that's just the way we are. I don't blame anybody for that. And it's kind of smart to, go along life, getting the things you want. A lot of people that end up being too nice, they're too nice for their own good and they get trampled on. It's not easy to be selfless. Just look at Jesus Christ. Every day everyone betrays him multiple times a day by, not just committing horrible atrocities, but even in the slightest. I think James says that it is sin to do or to not do what you know you ought to. And yeah, every day we fall short of this in every relationship that we have, whether it's with our family or our friends. We can never actually love to its fullest potential because nobody really wants to go through what Jesus went through. People think that they love. People think that they're good people and stuff. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that you cannot love to its fullest potential without compromising, without eventually getting something you don't deserve. A lot of the times when people are too nice, people tend to use them. People tend to take advantage of them. And that's us every day with the grace of God. We take advantage of the gift he gives us of breath in our lungs every morning and the gift of our eyesight and everything. And then we wake up every day complaining about random stuff that doesn't matter at all. That we ran out of we ran out of sugar for the fucking banana bread or some dumb shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're very ungrateful people. And what I'm trying to point out is the want for love is also not selfish, but the want for love has to come at a price. You can't get everything the way you want. You know what I mean? Like, love is never gonna be exactly the way you want it. It has to come with these challenges. Love is never, at least in the human sense, love is never perfect. So there will always be not tension, but true love requires growth because we're never perfect. And want to be we want to be perfect for our partners, for our friends, for every relationship that we have, for ourselves. Everybody eventually wants to be perfect. But it's not exactly about being perfect, but in the pursuit of it. Even though we may never get there, the goal is to exemplify Christ as much as we can, to be the light of the world so we can glorify God. And that is the closest we can get to of true love, is to personify Christ in our own lives. And yeah, and the pursuit of unconditional love, it has no want for for anything in return. And that is the hardest part of that pursuit. I don't think anyone really in the world wants unconditional love. Nobody wants to just give away their time and effort and love to people that won't reciprocate it back. And sometimes that's a smart thing to do. But it takes a really strong person in order to say, you don't have to do anything to me. I'll always be there for you no matter what. Even when you fail me, even when you disrespect me, when you're going through all these hard times, that I'll be the one to be there for you. And that's a hard thing. I don't think anybody ever perfects that part in their life, because like with that characteristic comes with a lot of, betrayals, and it comes with a lot of wrongdoings that people can take advantage of you. But that's the thing. When these pitfalls start affecting you, these the when people betray you and stuff in your pursuit for unconditional love, it's your expectations that let you down. It's when you expect somebody to take your unconditional love in the way you think they should take it, like they owe you something. And that's where unconditional love stops being unconditional. It starts becoming conditional. So when you get betrayed, when you are the bigger person, or where you're trying to be, a true unconditional lover, when you get betrayed or when you get used, you can't react to that. That is sometimes the nature in our humanity, is to use people to our advantage, and to, sometimes we got to understand where people are, that they're not in a place to understand what you're trying to do, understand your goal of unconditional love, which doesn't require anything. And at the end of the day, that is probably the most important muscle that we can exercise in our life, is that unconditional love. I think in the Bible it talks about somewhere in, I think, Proverbs, where if someone is either making fun of you or something, or insults you, you don't reply back with another insult or something. I forgot exactly what it was, but at the end of the day, when you don't give back that energy, and you stay humble, and you're still loving that person and understanding of where that person might be in life, where they're not as understanding or as comfortable with themselves or respectful, to where you have to give that energy back. So in the Bible it says you pour heaping piles of coal on that person's head when you stay in that loving state, that even though they may disrespect you or they may use you or something, you still keep that attitude of, whatever you may do, I'll still be that person that you can always come to. I might not hang out with you or something, or I might not do these everyday things with you, but when you need my help, when you're in dire need of in an emergency or something, that you'll always be the person there at the side of that hospital bed, or like that shoulder to lean on. And at the end of the day, you'll be that anchor in someone's life. And I feel like the that should be the goal in every man's life, is to be the anchor for his friends, his family, his children, his wife, and then Christ is the head of that man, to be the anchor for him, because who else is going to be there for him, you know what I mean? But yeah, that pursuit to me is very, it's going to be a long one, and it's going to be a hard one, but I think it'll definitely pay off well. You just have to expect that you won't get everything the way either you think it's going to be or the way you want it to be. You have to be okay with people letting you down. You have to be okay with things not going your way. But you have to want these things. You can't just do these things in order to, you know, make yourself feel better or to look good to other people. Do you want to be there for everyone that you love, and for the people that hate you? Do you want to be that person that gives grace to people that don't deserve it, which is exactly what grace is, when you give something to someone that doesn't deserve it? How strong can you be? Can you take all those betrayals? Can you take all that and still love everybody? Can you still be understanding? And can you not become expecting of people? And that is the most difficult part, I would say. is stopping the expectations. I tell my friend every time a situation happens to me, I always tell my friend, that's crazy. Or like, it's crazy that this happened. Or it's crazy that people like this exist. It just blows my mind, bro. And I find myself saying that a lot. Wow, bro, it's crazy. But the fact is, it happens all the time. And it is crazy that it happens all the time. But how crazy can it be? That is the reality of the world. So when everything is just, crazy like that, when people act a certain way and you're just like, I I I don't understand. Like, people can actually either be this dumb or just this ignorant or actually evil in a way, hateful. I don't get it. I don't get it sometimes. And that's what lets me down. Is expecting that some people can actually be smart and some people can be loving and some people can be respectful and not ignorant. And that's what lets me down, is expectation of other people. You can't expect anything from anybody. The only thing you should expect is yourself. You shouldn't expect the results of your deeds. People are going to give you what they want. They're not going to give you what you deserve. That is the harsh reality of this world. This world is not fair. It's not even. You get what you get. And it's not that you don't get upset, but you shouldn't get upset, because what makes you upset is your expectation. I think that's it for this one.